Welcome back to the Beauty Bulletin, your biweekly roundup of the biggest stories shaping the beauty world right now. Let's dive in. We actually have a lot of L'Oreal news this week, so let's start first with their $4.6 billion Kering deal. According to Global Cosmetic Industry magazine, Kering and L'Oreal have announced that they are entering a long-term strategic partnership in luxury beauty and wellness. This agreement includes the sale of Creed, which is a famous perfume line, plus the establishment of 50-year licenses on main Kering brands, including Gucci. So that's valued at about $4.6 billion. The deal is still expected to close in the first half of 2026. And beyond just beauty, Kering and L'Oreal are going to join forces to explore business opportunities at the intersection of luxury, wellness, and longevity. So this exclusive partnership is in a planned 50-50 joint venture, and they're going to craft cutting-edge experiences and services that combine L'Oreal's innovation with Kering's deep understanding of luxury clients. So if, in case you don't know, Kering is a French luxury group that owns and develops a portfolio of famous brands. Some of these brands include Gucci, Saint Laurent, Balenciaga, and Alexander McQueen. So combining forces with L'Oreal, who owns everyone, is a pretty big deal. And here's a quote from Luca De Meo, the CEO of Kering, about this partnership. This strategic alliance marks a decisive step for Kering. Joining forces with the global leader in beauty, we will accelerate the development of fragrance and cosmetics for our major houses, allowing them to achieve scale in this category and unlock their immense long-term potential, as did Yves Saint Laurent Beauty under L'Oreal's stewardship. Together, we will also venture into new frontiers of wellness, combining the unrivaled expertise of L'Oreal with our unique luxury reach. This partnership allows us to focus on what defines us best, the creative power and desirability of our houses." End quote. And from the L'Oreal Group, CEO Nicholas Hieronymus said this, quote, "The addition of these extraordinary brands perfectly complements our existing portfolio and significantly expands our reach into new dynamic segments of luxury beauty. Through Creed, we will establish ourselves as one of the leading players in the fast-growing niche fragrance market. Gucci, Bottega Veneta, and Balenciaga are all exceptional couture brands with enormous potential for growth." End quote. And right on the tails of that good news is more good news for L'Oreal. They actually saw positive growth in their 9-month fiscal 2025 sales. So just days after the Kering and L'Oreal announcement, L'Oreal Group announced their 9-month fiscal 2025 sales of 32.80 billion euros, marking a positive growth of 3.4%. Q3 like-for-like growth was actually more robust for them at 4.2%, which was 10.333.7 million euros. So they've reported that they've seen growth in all divisions and regions, boosted by continuing recovery in North America and mainland China. Strong momentum in hair care and, you guessed it, fragrances is reported, along with improvements in makeup sales. Some highlights from the first 9 months of their fiscal year include growth in their professional products division at about 7.4% increase, the consumer products division at about a 3.1% increase, a luxe division at a 2.2%, and dermatological beauty increase of 3.7%. If you listen to the L'Oreal episode, we mentioned in there that L'Oreal has consistently seen growth and success, particularly in the professional product division, and that is exactly what happened here. They had an ongoing focus on reigniting the salon market through tailored salon services, and professional products continue to outperform, fueled by the brands that they own, like Kerastase, bolstered by the successful launch of Gloss Absolu, which was their newest product. And their luxe division continued to grow, particularly in their fragrance section. So they invested in fragrances like Yves Saint Laurent Libre, Myself by Emporio Armani, and Lancome's Idole franchise. I know I didn't say that right. I'm so sorry. And then in their makeup, luxe department, Yves Saint Laurent and Prada continue to drive their makeup brands. And in sales news, Unilever announced the sale of Kate Sommerville to Rare Beauty. Now, not to be confused with Rare Beauty, Selena Gomez makeup brand Rare Beauty. This we're talking about is Rare Beauty, technically called Rare Beauty Brands, and it is an investor out of Boston who currently owns brands like Patchology, Dr. Dana, and Dot Dot Dash. So the Kate Somerville brand includes skincare, body care, and they also have a clinic, which is what made the products famous, out in Los Angeles. And here is a quote from Mary Carmen Gasco-Buisson, the CEO of Unilever Prestige, about the sale. Over the past 18 months, the team has worked diligently to accelerate Kate Somerville's turnaround. As the brand enters a new chapter, we believe that its continued growth and success will be best supported by new ownership, better aligned to its evolving needs. We are confident that under Chris Hobson's leadership and the Rare Beauty Brands team, Kate Somerville has a bright future ahead, end quote. And Chris himself, the president and CEO of Rare Beauty Brands, also had this to say about the acquisition. The acquisition of Kate Somerville is a significant milestone for Rare Beauty Brands. We have long admired the brand's innovative spirit and its commitment to results-driven skincare, which aligns perfectly with our mission to create products that delight, communities that empower, and brands that inspire. We believe that Rare Beauty Brands is the ideal home for the Kate Somerville brand, and we are excited to welcome its dedicated team into our family. Together, we see a bright future ahead with new opportunities to grow and reach even more consumers who share our passion for highly efficacious, luxurious skincare, end quote. I don't know much about the Kate Somerville brand in terms of how well it's been doing. I imagine there's probably been a little downturn. So having a smaller investor might be the best thing for Kate Somerville. Unilever is gigantic, right? Rare Beauty Brands has 3 other brands. They can focus on you as well. So I think having a little bit more of a smaller, more focused investor can only be a good thing, right? And this is an exclusive from Reuters. LVMH is exploring sale of its 50% stake in Fenty Beauty, which it co-owns with Grammy award-winning singer and entrepreneur Rihanna. So they own 50% of Fenty. Rihanna owes the other 50%. And this was launched in 2017. So Rihanna's full name is Robin Rihanna Fenty, and she launched Fenty Beauty with the help of Kendo Brands, which was LVMH's in-house beauty incubator. So like I said, they both own each half of the company. And it generated around 450 million net sales in 2024 to be 7 years later making almost $500 million in net sales is wild. So they say it could be valued at somewhere between $1 to $2 billion. I don't have much additional news on this. It's just interesting. I'm curious why LVMH would want to sell half of a very successful company, but maybe 2025 is looking a little rougher than we know. But yeah, I don't have any more news on that, but just wanted to throw it on out there. And in our last story under our industry brand moves section, Sephora saw remarkable growth in the first 9 months of 2025. So it actually specifically saw 3% organic growth versus the same time period in 2024, totaling about $14.656 million. And specifically in Q3, they saw a growth of over 7%. Now, I don't have the data in front of me, but I would not be surprised if Q3 is when they launched Rhode. Because apparently when they launched Rhode, it created a record-breaking launch number for them. So I'm going to guess that Q3 is when they finally had Rhode available. In addition, Sephora saw share gains in many countries. They consolidated their global leadership position and strengthened their brand selections with the inclusions of brands like Rhode. All right, we're going to move into some launches and some innovations. So according to Beauty News Daily, the Estee Lauder company opened up a fragrance atelier in Paris. So under the high patronage of French President Emmanuel Macron, the group has opened its fragrance atelier inside La Maison des Parfums on Rue Volnay. So they like to say it's the brand's next generation fragrance playground where heritage meets high tech and creativity meets science. So here's a quote from Stephanie de la Favre, the president and CEO of the Estee Lauder company. "It is with great pride and excitement that we open our fragrance atelier in Paris. Building on our incredible heritage of creativity and innovation, the Atelier will propel our future growth in this dynamic category, uniting world-class expertise, cutting-edge technology, and the artistry of fragrance to accelerate innovation across our portfolio, end quote. And according to Beauty News Daily, they said it's not your typical lab. There's a music room where perfumers from brands like Tom Ford, Le Labo, Jo Malone London work side by side to compose new scent stories. Next door to that, labs are going to be humming with CO2 extraction, AI-powered analysis, and neuroscience tools that study how scent sparks emotion. So this is going to be spread across 5 floors and more than 2,000 square meters. So this is a quote from Renee Lammers. This is Estee Lauder's Chief Research and Innovation Officer. Quote, "The Fragrance Atelier is an exciting new model for creation, a space that harnesses creativity and science to shape the future of fragrance. This hub brings together experts from across our fragrance brands and partners in an environment purpose-built for experimentation," end quote. So it sounds like they're going to be in this beautiful science lab with like these sunlit Parisian rooms, and they're going to be developing these new scents all together. If you're sensitive to fragrance, this is not going to be the place for you to work. But if you're into it, I would love a tour. And obviously, Estee Lauder has some deep French ties. The company has been there since 1966 and employs over 1,200 people across its French operations, including the global headquarters for Kilian Paris, Frédéric Malle, and Dauphine. And another launch that sounded very intriguing is a company called Vashbon. So this is from Beauty News Daily. And Vashbon is a hair care line, or I should say beauty line, my apologies, that has what they've called the first high-performance, freeze-dried, waterless beauty line. So this range took 6 years to make, and it's powered by zero water, I'm not going to try and say this word, some type of zero water technology, but essentially it's advanced freeze drying. So each formula removes water entirely, cutting the need for preservatives, stabilizers, and excess packaging. So each product begins as light granules that transform into a rich foam when mixed with water. And according to them, one 75-gram bottle equals around 750 milliliters of a regular product, which saves you roughly 3.5 liters of water in production and replaces 3 typical plastic bottles. So Vashbon champions probiotic first formulas, pairing live cultures with targeted plant actives to support the skin and scalp microbiome for stronger barriers, better hydration, and a naturally healthy glow. So from what I can tell, the debut collection includes a cleanser for the hair, face, and body, and each is available in targeted options to suit different skin and hair needs. So the hair wash is available in repair, brighten, volumize, and thicken. The face wash is available in nourish, balance, and luminous, and the body wash is available in refresh and moisture. But each product is vegan, cruelty-free, free from sulfate, silicones, palm oil, preservatives, and synthetic fragrance. All right, and another launch is by a brand called By the Beach. And it's a sun care brand that was founded by industry insiders Andrew Glass and Jessica McGrady Singer. And the point of the brand is they want to make SPF something that people reach for with pleasure. So if you're one of those people that like, you kind of roll your eyes every day, so you're like, oh, sunscreen, I got to put that on. Yes, you do. But it's not always the most fun part of the process. And so By the Beach was created in this way where the product could combine science, nature, plus a healthy dose of self-care. So here is a quote from the two founders. "Sun protection should be something you crave, not just a necessity. By the Beach was born from a decade of traveling together for work, for fun, and for the love of sunny moments shared with friends, family, and colleagues. From the south of France to Miami, we've always been inspired by the colors, the scents, the food, and that carefree coastal energy that lingers long after the trip ends. We wanted to bottle that feeling, to create something that could transport you there every day. That's why By the Beach turns the everyday into a beach day, sparking joy and nostalgia through our sensorial sun care creams and luminous SPF dry oils. We couldn't be happier to share this dream with the world through our launch with Ulta Beauty," End quote. So this is made in Spain, and every product provides broad spectrum SPF 30 protection and is layered with botanicals, vitamins, and antioxidants to keep the skin hydrated and luminous. And the launch collection features 8 essentials. So it begins with 2 SPF 30 formulas that are available in different textures. So it includes a rich face and body cream and a lightweight body dry oil. So you can kind of decide if you want deeper hydration or if you just want kind of like that silky, radiant finish. And both formulas are offered in 3 signature scents. So there's Melon Days, which is a fresh melon blend, Citrus Crush, which is an energizing tangerine burst, and Candy Clouds, which is a softly sweet cotton candy twist. And then for anyone who wants something sheer, their Never Seen SPF 30 Invisible Face and Body Cream claims to melt into every skin tone without a trace. I would like to see that before I confirm. And then their Sea Pearl Sun Glaze SPF 30 Face and Body Glaze delivers a dewy glass skin glow that is powered by sea pearl extract and squalene. And the last launch story for the section is all about Curology. So if you're not familiar with Curology, it is a subscription-based online skincare service that actually provides personalized skincare products based on your specific needs. So you can get custom formulas. It's supported by a team of licensed dermatologists who oversee all the treatment plans and the formulations. And they also have prescription strength ingredients, but they also have a range of non-prescription skincare like cleansers, moisturizers, and spot treatments that are available at places like Target, Ulta, CVS, and Walmart. But now they're going to be expanding into makeup. So Curology is coming out with a product called a Day Prime RX. This is a first of its kind formula that combines a prescription acne treatment with a blurring long wear primer. Now, the reason why this is important, if you've ever had to wear any kind of prescription acne or rosacea treatments on your skin, you'll know that they're helpful for the problem, but they can be a challenge when it comes to layering your makeup on top. It might lead to like pilling or flaking or patchiness, just the product not smoothing out over that particular area. And so what they're trying to do here is to actually create a clinical care product with a cosmetic performance. So here's a quote from Dr. Whitney Tolpenrud, who is a board-certified dermatologist and the medical director at Curology. Day Prime RX solves one of the most vexing challenges in beauty and skincare, the fact that acne treatments don't often layer well under makeup, forcing people to choose between cover and treat. Day Prime RX eliminates that choice, giving patients one product that immediately blurs the skin, treats with prescription actives over time, and holds makeup in place for up to 12 hours, maximizing results and minimizing effort. End quote. This hybrid formula pairs 3 dermatologist-prescribed actives tailored to your specific skin concerns, with a primer base that smooths, blurs, and grips makeup all day. So the result when you use this, instant glow, long-term clarity, and a finish that holds up whether you wear makeup or go bare. This is available at Curology.com, but it is available by subscription exclusively. So you would have to do a short online consultation, include a few selfies, your skin goal, and then their licensed dermatology provider will prescribe your custom formula. And your first month is free, just covered for shipping, and then it's $59.90 for a 60-day supply, which includes continual dermatology support. All right, and moving into some campaigns and celebrity partnerships, CeraVe is becoming NBA's official skincare partner. So CeraVe, which is a popular dermatologist-recommended skincare brand here in the US, and the National Basketball Association, the NBA, have announced an exciting partnership for both beauty and basketball. CeraVe will serve as the league's official skincare and hair care partner, and fans of both can expect to see custom content and storytelling, on-site activation at league events, and product integrations into the upcoming season. This partnership between beauty and brawn will see mass coverage. So the NBA has more than 2.5 billion likes and followers globally, and CeraVe has actually more than 1.4 million followers. Good for you, CeraVe. So this coverage will help drive important conversations about skin and scalp care globally. So they're hoping to reach fans and players alike, both across sports and the skincare industry. Here's a quote from Esther Garcia, CeraVe's U.S. General Manager. At CeraVe, we are absolutely thrilled to join forces with the NBA because, like them, we believe in championing performance and well-being. Our core mission is to make effective, dermatologist-developed care accessible to everyone. Our partnership with the NBA is an exciting opportunity to reach a truly unparalleled audience, one that's passionate, engaged, incredibly diverse, and one that truly values performance, especially when it comes to their skin barrier head to toe. Beyond the products, our commitment is to ignite a vital conversation about skin and scalp health by expanding access to dermatologists for all and fostering a holistic culture of self-care that empowers the entire NBA community on and off the court, end quote. And Paolo Pastore, the VP of Global Business Development at the NBA, had this to say about the partnership. This partnership reflects the NBA's commitment to expanding its lifestyle and wellness offerings. As our official skincare partner, CeraVe brings trusted expertise and an innovative marketing approach that supports bringing the NBA experience closer to fans wherever they are. End quote. So fans of both CeraVe and NBA will see an increased presence of CeraVe across digital platforms and at marquee league events throughout the season, including the Emirates NBA Cup, NBA All-Star, and the NBA Summer League. CeraVe will also collaborate with the NBA to launch their Care for All, a program that provides families with comprehensive resources to skin health education, like dermatology screenings, product education, and sampling. So I think it's going to be a really great partnership. I am excited to see how they create these activations and like how can they get some CeraVe stuff on the court. I want to know. Lisa Eldridge Beauty has announced that Alexa Chung has been appointed the brand's first ever ambassador. If you don't know who Lisa Eldridge is, first of all, pause the podcast, go look her up. I need you to understand who she is before we continue. She is my personal favorite makeup artist. She's been a makeup artist for decades, and she also, I believe, is the global director of Lancome, and she also has her own beauty line, Lisa Eldridge Beauty. I own one of everything. I proudly give her my money whenever she comes out with something because the thought and work that goes into her she's in the lab, like she's mixing stuff up herself, like she's deep in her R&D, and I just really respect that, and her products are just gorgeous. So she's announcing that Alexa Chung is the brand's first ever ambassador. And she is Alexa Chung. If you don't know her, she is such like she's the definition of a cool girl, in my opinion. If you're a millennial, you know who she is. But if you're not, she's British. She's like a style icon. She just always seemed very comfortable being herself. She was always like around musicians, interviewing people. She was on MTV for a little. She's just like a cool, like the definition of effortless, I want to say, like an effortless, cool, beautiful person. And so this is a really great ambassadorship, I think. She has known Lisa for a long time. I think Lisa's done her makeup for many years, and she embodies that timeless, effortless beauty and modern sophistication that defines Lisa Eldridge Beauty. Here's a quote from Lisa herself about appointing her first ever ambassador. Alexa and I have known and worked with each other for many years. She has the most creative, magnetic energy and sense of humor, and has always embodied that effortless, modern beauty and individuality that I love. Having her as our first ever brand ambassador feels like such a natural, organic step, and I couldn't imagine a more wonderful person and friend to begin this chapter with, end quote. I love this combination. I mean, Lisa, her products are just, they look stunning on everyone, but I'm curious, I want to know what she's going to be doing for the brand. Like, what does this ambassadorship look like? Because Lisa's always kind of advertised her products one on herself, like she launches on her YouTube and on her website, and she'll bring in like models and things to model the products. But I'm wondering what this will look like having an actual like ambassador. Is like, are there going to be advertisements with her? I'm intrigued and I'm excited. And lastly, in regulation news, there's apparently, for the first time in more than 2 decades, a new innovative UV filter that's on the brink for FDA approval in the United States. This is actually going to be a webinar, so it is free. I checked. It's the Parasol Shield powering the next US sun care era. It's probably more for like product developers and things like that. But if you're interested, I can't see why you couldn't go. But yeah, they're going to be talking about how they're on the brink of FDA approval for a new innovative UV filter. And the US is behind pretty much the rest of the world when it comes to sunscreen innovation. And so there's going to be this expert panel in this webinar that's going to discuss like why the US sunscreen market is so different and how that affects our health as a result. Parasol Shield is going to talk specifically about the next generation sunscreens, what that's going to look like, and how this new UV filter will help reduce skin cancer rates, lower healthcare costs. And it's just really interesting. I don't have any like specific info on this. I just saw this link on Global Cosmetic Industry. But if you're passionate about sun care and you're curious to know what's on the horizon, this could be a really interesting webinar to join. And then hopefully after the webinar for that following Beauty Bulletin, I will have more of an update on maybe some new sunscreen. From L'Oreal making some moves to a Parisian fragrance atelier to an NBA first ever skincare partner. That's your roundup of the week's top beauty stories. Stay tuned for the next Beauty Bulletin as we track the shifts shaping how we shop, wear, and experience beauty.